So in one of the previous videos, I shared how one can experience this imbalance of structure and flow. And one will find that if you're all flow and no structure, you'll long for that structure. You'll long to integrate that structure into your day to create more of a structured day. But that being said, this structure isn't taken to the extreme where the structure becomes rigid and constricts that flow. You're not filling the space for the sake of filling the space so that you suffocate that spontaneity that you've come to love. But also, you're not simply going with the flow in such a way that you feel your life has no purpose, that you feel lost, or like you're just simply drifting without any direction. So this is really about integrating your masculine energy with the clarity. You can direct your energy so that your day has structure and order, has a sense of purpose and direction. So, something that's very practical is creating structure in your day at the start and at the end of the day. Think of your day being a river, and that river is the flow, that spontaneity, that spaciousness. But don't forget that that river also has river banks. And the banks of the river on both sides give that river structure, directs the flow, guides the flow, contains the flow. And you see, this is the harmony of the whole. This is where the masculine and the feminine are unified. And you experience this synergy, the balance of the whole. So, at the start of the day and at the end of the day, that structure is something that's consistent. It's constant. And that structure that you integrate in each day helps ground your energy. You'll find that this feels much like a ritual. You might call it a routine. But when you have integrated it and it's embodied, you'll see that it's not a rigid routine like many experience. That's why I often refer to it as a rhythm as opposed to a routine. A rhythm is structured, and you can feel that aliveness. Whereas often someone's routine becomes mechanical. They're out of touch with that aliveness in them. The rhythm is really the union of the masculine and the feminine. It's where the structure meets the flow. So these rituals could be your morning coffee, your morning tea, some yoga stretching in the morning, could be a morning walk in the neighborhood, a cold shower, could be sitting down, maybe in front of your computer or a journal, a day planner, something that allows you to sort of look at your day with clarity. Let's take this example of the day planner. You don't want to use the day planner how most use it. Most use it like a to-do list. And like I said before, it's not about filling your day for the sake of filling your day. This is where you're very intentional about what you're doing today. This is where your action is not just simply action, it's aligned action, because it comes from your authentic self. It comes from that clarity. This is where you give your day focus. It's from that focus, focusing your clarity, focusing your vision on what you want to bring to life, what you want to express, that you feel this great sense of purpose. You're bringing your vision to life through aligned action by focusing your energy on what truly matters for you. It's about structuring your day in an orderly way. This is where you're integrating hierarchy into your day. Your daily actions. They aren't simply tasks like a to-do list, but you can treat them with more respect, honor, reverence, that you see your daily tasks when they are intentional, when they're meaningful, when they're truly the things that matter most. You give it a higher priority. And we can call them objectives. These objectives serve a greater mission. This mission could be the mission for the day, the mission for the week, the mission for the month. It's a sort of theme. And these objectives serve that mission to help you focus your energy. You're creating hierarchy. What's the highest priority? And to help you focus even more, you keep it under 3 objectives for the day. Often there's just 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, no more than 3. This makes you more intentional about what you're actually doing each day. Make sure that you don't make these objectives into a to-do list. Most people aren't focused. They're distracted. And they get distracted by just simply creating more noise in their life. One feels more productive when they bang out a list of 10 different things instead of one thing that truly matters. But one thing that truly matters is more significant than doing 10 things to make you feel productive or busy. Most people are too busy. So when you sit down and structure your day, you're doing so from clarity, because you can see clearly what matters most. Most people start off with the easy things, or they like to fill a to-do list with easy tasks. And this is just noise. It becomes a distraction. It becomes the very thing that's a coping mechanism for avoiding the things that truly matter in your life. But when you sit down with clarity, you can see what truly matters, and you focus your attention on the things that truly matter in your life. The noise falls away. All the distractions are no more. So these daily objectives serve a greater mission. That mission is all about your transformation, your embodiment, your evolution. And you can see directly how those objectives are linked to the mission, and how those objectives fulfill the mission, achieve that mission, complete the mission. Like this, you're gaining a different perspective about your day. Your day planner is not some day planner. It's like your mission control center, where you check in each morning. At the start, this could be an hour, but you'll see that as you integrate it and your day planner is used like a tool, then that structure, the clarity, the order, the purpose, the alignment within is then externalized. And that day planner is simply a tool that externalizes that structure and the order, the clarity, the purpose, the alignment, the intention. So it becomes a tool for integration. So you, like I said, you can limit your daily objectives to no more than 3. You'll find that you have a very tight focus on what truly matters. And you'll start seeing, experiencing, that these things that truly matter are actually the things that you've been avoiding. And that you finally are investing your time and your energy into those things that truly matter. You'll gain this deep sense of respect, reverence for yourself and the things that truly matter most to you. You'll feel that by actually investing your time and energy into these objectives, you are growing at such a faster rate. You are deepening more than before, quickly. Because these objectives that you're now giving your attention to are actually parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. They're just the outer manifestation of those parts of yourself that you have yet to meet fully, which is why they've always taken the back seat, got pushed to the side. You don't have time for it today. You've been avoiding these things because they reflect areas of yourself that you've been avoiding. But now, because you make it a priority, you've made yourself a priority. So you're meeting yourself fully. These challenging things are the things that you've put off. I'll do it later. And you're postponing. You're just simply postponing meeting these deeper aspects of yourself. So it's not easy to prioritize these things. But in doing so, you are deepening and as you deepen, you're rooting into yourself more than ever, meeting more of yourself than ever before. You're revealing these unintegrated parts of yourself that actually hold the key that opens doors in your life. Sort of like the secrets or superpowers. They're just the parts of yourself that have been hidden, that you're revealing. And you're revealing it because you're no longer avoiding these parts of yourself. So they no longer remain as a shadow. You're integrating your shadow, those parts of yourself that you don't even know of. And this will ultimately transform your life. The problems that you're experiencing in your life are resolved when you have integrated those parts of yourself. They're sort of like the solution to those problems. Those problems that you are experiencing are really because there's parts of yourself that have yet to be integrated. For example, the topic of this video, if you feel like you are lost, if you feel like you lack direction, if you feel like your life has no purpose, if you feel like you're just drifting, each day just kind of blending into the next one, and you feel this longing for more structure, more purpose, more order, more intention, that longing is actually the part of you that wants to be expressed, that wants to be embodied. It's that masculine energy that wants to be expressed. Wants to be expressed through a tool such as a day planner. It wants to have that grounded structure. Starts the day grounded. It has that clarity, the vision to take aligned action and execute the objectives that serve a greater purpose. It wants that structure, it wants that order. So that's the example of the day planner in the morning. And like I said, when you sit down in front of that day planner, eventually you start seeing that it's not just the day planner. You're just simply using it as a tool to externalize the clarity that you are integrating, the structure that you are integrating, the order that you're integrating. And like this, that tool externalizes that structure, that order, the containment, the intention, the focus, the discipline of every day. Opening up that day planner, focusing on what truly matters, making sure that you don't sabotage the day by filling it with a bunch of noise for the sake of staying busy. That structure serves the flow. It's not that it suffocates the spontaneity and you lose that spaciousness, but it's actually what guides that flow. Like I said, the start of the day, the end of the day are like the riverbanks that guide the river, that contain the river, that hold the river. And the river flows. It honors the flow. It protects the flow. So like this, when your day starts off from that clarity, with that vision and the focus to direct the energy towards what truly matters, that space in between the start and end of the day is for that creative flow. Those objectives that you've outlined then are executed. You've protected the space for those objectives to be executed. This is where you honor the things that you have set out, that you have committed to. When you're focusing on that one objective for the day, you make sure that you protect that space in which that objective is executed in. Perhaps you time block it. And you make sure that in that time block, the only thing that's happening is that objective. This makes sure that the boundary is not breached and that you honor that objective so that it doesn't get sabotaged. You're not trying to multitask here, having a bunch of windows open on your computer. You're not trying to do a call at the same time as watching a show. You're not trying to do more than 2 things at a time. When you really focus your energy, that space and time is sacred. And you're honoring the activity that happens in that space for that given time. So like this, you can see how the energy is directed and it's flowing. It's not restricted. It's not suffocated. You're not at war with the flow. It's this synergy that you feel, that you experience. The daily ritual, the start, the end of the day, is what grounds your day. It's that masculine aspect. It's sort of like the constant. It's sort of like the immovable banks of the river. So the river feels supported, contained, safe to flow, honored. It's the unchanging, and the flow is the changing. That flow is creative. When you start your day from that clarity, with the vision that you're bringing to life, that creative flow, is what's bringing that vision to life through aligned action. This is the union of doing and being. This is not about all being and no doing. This is not about sitting on the couch, nobody here, nothing to do. This is not about sitting on the sidelines of your life. This is about living fully. It requires your full participation in life. That morning and evening ritual, routine, rhythm, helps ground that energy by integrating it. And it doesn't need to be purely masculine. You see that it's impossible to talk about one without the other. You can't separate them as much as it sounds like I'm separating them. They're inseparable. Maybe your evening rhythm is to journal at night, or a evening yoga session, a slower pace, more gentle, more of a yin yoga. Perhaps it's a bath, taking a bath in the evening is very much the embodiment of the feminine energy. Just like the journal, they're reflective in nature. You're going within. You're feeling your emotions. The water represents the emotions. The fluidity, the softness to open up, to express yourself in your journal. But you see that it's actually that structure of structuring it each day, where these things in the morning, these things in the evening are non-negotiable. That's the structure, that's the order of the masculine. That's the container, the containment of the masculine that creates the container. That this time, even though it's the feminine being expressed through taking a bath or the journal, it's the containment of the journal. That's sacred space where you journal for half an hour or an hour, let's say, or you take your hour bath, or you light a candle and do some breathing or some gentle stretching. It's that sacred container that honors that sacred flow. So you're seeing what I'm expressing. You can sense it. It's that harmony of the whole. But like I said, as if you felt that longing for more structure, more order, it's really about that part of you, that masculine energy that wants to be integrated, that wants to be expressed, that wants to be embodied. And I'm just simply sharing some practical tools here, practical ways that you can see it very clearly. Perhaps you have experienced the collapse and you've rested, you've relaxed. It's in that relaxation, that rest, that has been so restorative. But now something is springing, arising in you that wants to move. That creative flow, that creative potential that wants to be actualized. But it also needs the structure to make it sustainable. You're longing for that harmony of the whole, the balance of the union of the masculine and the feminine. And because you're still watching, this message is resonating with you. You can feel that wholeness. You can feel that call, that invitation to integrate that part of you that wants to be embodied and expressed. And so I invite you to join me on this journey of truth so that you can integrate more of yourself and embody your wholeness to live fully.